Welcome to another edition of Motivational Sundays with Kevin and Friends. I am joined with my good friends and co-host Ife, that go-to guy, my brother, new skill, new deal, Bruce Hill, and a host of other people. This episode is brought to you by RMK Productions and the 10 United Podcast Network. Our mission is very simple, just to uplift, inspire, share stories and experiences, and using the framework of teaching, learning, and modeling. Our purpose is hope, helping other people every day. For those of you that are not familiar with this format, this show was originally created from the one of more than 300 motivational quotes that I had personally created for the contents of the 3 books that I had published, and over the 40 years of experience as a behavior specialist and a fitness professional. I was always curious of how these quotes landed on other people, was wondering if they were just words that just lay there on the page, or were there a conversation to be had? And thus, the birth of our Sunday motivationals was born. We meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And each week, we bring a quote. We talk about how it lands on us and our interpretation or perspectives for that quote. And this week's quote was brought to us by Denise Lopes. She is celebrating her vacation month, so she's traveling the country, but she was kind enough to leave us with this. It says, look at life through the windshield, not the rearview mirror. And it's by Bird Baggett, I believe. So I'm just curious of how this quote lands on our younger generation. First, we're going to go with Ife, that go-to guy, and just tell me how this quote resonates.
If you're driving and you're focused on your rearview mirror, you're not going to be aware of what's ahead of you. And that's pretty dangerous. In this journey called life, that rearview mirror is focusing and dwelling on the past. And if you look and focus on the dwell on the past in the wrong aspect, you can stifle yourself or depress yourself. And that's not going to be good for you moving forward, because you're going to dwell on what you cannot really change, what's behind you. But what's in front of you is your present and what your future is. So yes, look at the rearview mirror at appropriate times if you're reversing or making sure that what's behind you isn't going to interfere with what's in front of you. But at the same time, you have to understand it's about what's ahead of you, and that's what's behind you. And that's the point of life, to dwell in the present and move forward to the future, because the past is a lesson that you can learn from or something you can reminisce on when the time is right. But always focusing on the past does not get you to your future.
Hey, well spoken, well said. Hopefully people are listening. They savor that like a nice glass of wine, let it roll down the back of your tongue, take in all the flavors and think about that. Brother Bruce, new skill, how you doing?
So far, so great this morning. And then let me get that quote back in there. I'm not sure if you know, but you can only see the chat from whenever you joined the conversation.
Well, let me give you the quote again.
There it is.
All right.
So just so you're aware.
Yeah, we're paying it forward.
That I was aware. I was hoping that we were going to get that typed in. Look at life through the windshield, not the rearview mirror, by Bird Baggett. How does that land on you?
Awesome. And I did put that back in the chat.
Thank you.
So I used to run a little bit, nothing crazy distance, 10Ks, trying to stay in shape. And what I learned from a running coach is your feet will go wherever your nose is pointed. So I encourage us to always look straight ahead. If you turn your head, you turn your body. And so when we talk about looking at life through the windshield, not the rearview mirror, the windshield's bigger. And it's facing the direction we're going. The only time you look backwards is when you're parked, right? You can stop and reflect on where you've been, how far you've come, and the adventures you've had along the way. But it's so important to look forward, because that's where you're going. That's where you're headed. That's where all the new adventures lie. I think a lot of times we can get distracted looking in the wrong direction. We don't want to appreciate where we are, where we're headed. And you can't go that way. In life, you can't go backwards. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to spend time looking backwards. So looking forward is how we should live. It's how we should think. That's how we should operate. I love it.
Wow. New skills. Bruce Hill talking to you, everyone. Um, Joining us, our co-host, Barbara Ullman, trilinguist. I got that right this weekend. Um, our quote, look at life through the windshield, not the rearview mirror. Barbara, how does that land on you? You've been all over the world.
Yes, that's why I was contemplating while I was listening. Can we really not go back? We cannot go back in time, but we can say this island was magical. I'm going to relocate. I want to go back because that was the best place, you know? So I'm like, in one way we cannot, but in another way we sure can. Like if we find something that worked the best for us, we can in a way go back, you know? So to me, it has both directions. I love the example with the rear view mirror that is so much smaller. So it encourages us even more to look up front through the big windshield. And yes, all the opportunities, all the new things are out there right in front of us. And so we have to focus on not being distracted by the past. But we can also, like, I guess, learn from life and maybe pick spots where we do go back, but in a positive way, renewed.
True that. True that. Wow. It's amazing because I've heard this quote, and it's been given several examples by some very great speakers. And Les Brown had said there's a reason why the windshield is the size of what it is, and the rearview mirror is the size of what it is. Everything behind you, as you're going forward, seems to get smaller. But when you look through your windshield of your car, the world expands. You know, they say your world is your oyster. Everything about our life is a combination of dreams, fantasies, experience, nightmares, and it all comes down to choices and chance of how we live our life. Through the first 2 years of our life, we're very impressionable, and everything that we're taught, we caught because of whoever brought us into this world. Once we reclaim and regain our own control of our lives, we make choices that mold us, that develop us, that educate us. We surround ourselves with people that support us, that inspire us, that moves us, and enlightens us. This quote for me is always about, as my grandfathers used to say, if he knock you down once, get up twice. If he knocks you down 2 times, get up 4 times. If he knocks you down, keep getting up and get up until the point they get tired of knocking you down. And when I talk about knocking you down, that's what life has a tendency to do. And the people that we seem to celebrate seems to overcome those hard blows, overcomes those situations, those stories of saying what can't be done, and they prove to everyone what it can be. Today in Pennsylvania is the first time a high school student has broken the 4-minute mile. He's a senior in high school. He ran 3:57.
Roger Bannister returns.
Yep, Roger Bannister. And until someone else does it, what seems to be impossible now becomes possible. And over 2,500 people have broken the 4-minute mile. And that's for a high school kid, this is a first. So, when they say that everything is possible, is that true? Or is that a question for a dreamer? Is everything impossible? That's only a question for the defeated. So with that quote, I want people to think about that as you get up today and put your key into the ignition of your car or push that button to your car and ask yourself the reason why your car is designed the way it is, why your rearview mirror is small, and why your windshield seems to open up and enlighten you to more experiences as you drive through life. So as we've done, you guys are so important. I just want to catch up each week and allow you to share a little bit with our viewers and listeners what you guys are up to. Bruce, I know you have a new book that is out. I'd like to hear more about that book and how we can get it. I'm going to promote the living hell of that book until it becomes a bestseller. I want people to know how to get in touch with you. So please share, please.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's real easy. It's New Skills, New You on all social media. You have the book, just visit newskillsnewyou.com. It's the second link. And depending on when you hear this, I'm still signing copies.
All right.
So thank you for your support. I wrote it, it's called All Gas, No Breaks. It's a collaboration with some good friends of mine. We really want to encourage people to live a life they don't need a break from.
All right. Maybe I'll get lucky enough and get brave enough to ask you and your co-authors to come on Talking with Kevin and Son to talk about their book. And I'm going to announce publicly that Ife is going to be sharing the seat of Kevin and Son in the very near future. Probably tomorrow will be his warm up when we're going to talk to my book editor, Judy Fennell. So he'll get a chance to get his feet wet, and it's either going to be a great show, it's going to be a great comedy show. Ife, tell us what's going on with your life, and why in the hell do you want to join RMK Productions and Talking with Kevin, be in the hot seat?
Well, lately it's just a matter of making sure that I'm around people that wish me the best. Of course, we know everybody wants to form a great team, but you can't be on everyone's team. You got to pick and choose. So I guess that's what's going on with me. Of course, as always being heavily involved in music, using my network as a resource for others, and looking to get better by the day. Now, why would I want to be part of RMK Productions? Why wouldn't I be? I feel that part of this journey as an entrepreneur is defining my story, but I find joy in helping people tell their story as well. And I think that's important because we have to tell these stories, because if we don't, who is? So it's always exciting to be a part of an interview, not sure what's going to be said next, or what could actually happen if someone actually looks at some of our interviews. But that's the joy of creation, the joy of actually being in the process of creating and then seeing how people take that creation and how it lands with them.
All right. Well, we're excited to see what comes next. And trilinguist Barbara Ullman, hailing out of Houston, Texas, the Lone Star State. She's also going to be joining RMK Production. She is going to be doing a workshop that we are going to co-produce coming up in the near future. So those of you that are listening for the first time, she is an ultimate and well-established bilingualist, English, French, German, and she's actually picking up a new language, Spanish. So, corporations, anyone that needs things translated or whatever, this is our go-to gal right now. So Barbara, let people know how they can get in touch with you. Share a little bit about what the workshop is going to be like and what they can get out of it and what type of person you're looking for.
Yes, so people can reach me easily on LinkedIn or on my website, bulanguages.com. And yes, I'm very excited about the workshop. I've done many programs, but this is like really the most amazing one. I have done a lot of research with people that I meet at all those conventions, and I've seen the feedback that I'm getting, and it's going to be very playful and very joyful and very engaging, a very fun way to dip into culture and language as combination text. So I'm super excited. I can't wait.
All right. I am so lucky. I'm surrounded by so many people. Bruce, I hope that somewhere down the line, when your workshop, when you're ready to do your workshop, we can feature you on RMK Productions. We would love to be part of that. Anything that you guys would like to leave the listeners with that will connect this quote, that will inspire them to start off their Sunday with a little bit something special. And Barbara, I'm going to come right back to you. I'm going to go to Bruce, and then I'm going to end with Ife, and then I'll wrap it up. So Barbara, what would you like to leave our listeners with, our takeaway?
Yes, the quote is super inspiring. So I really like it because I feel the sky is not the limit, is what I always say. They say it is, I say it is not. So my business is global. That's why my background is global. And I believe the sky is not the limit. And wherever you put your mind to, that's what you can reach. And you're never too old to start something new, because if you really want it, you can get it.
Bruce.
I'll keep it simple. One new skill will change your life. So new skills, new you. We teach a personal and professional development with the emphasis in sales skills, particularly focused on helping entrepreneurs and small businesses increase their revenue. Hear yes more often without sounding salesy. What's really beautiful that no matter your current circumstance, age, situation, history, one new skill will change your life. So the future looks beautiful when you look at it that way. So if we can help you on your growth journey, tap in newskillsnewyou.com.
Ife.
Oh, that was well said. I was admiring how that landed. Oftentimes we focus on what has been done or what's in the past, and that can cripple us. I know a lot of people have heard paralysis analysis. The best way to live life is, yes, we acknowledge the past, but we know that we're moving forward, taking lessons from the past so that we can understand how to maneuver or what to do. Because people look at life as wins and losses. I look at it as wins and lessons. What may not have been a win was a lesson for me how to maneuver or where to maneuver or who to maneuver with. So oftentimes we forget that we drive our lives. Either we can drive it off a cliff or we can get to that destination that we had planned to get ourselves to. The choice is ours.
And I thank you all for co-hosting with me. I'd like to thank my listeners and viewers for sharing this space. Again, we meet every Sunday at 9 a.m. If you like what you've heard and you would like to share or even be a guest, go to our YouTube page at RMK Productions and Network. If you like, you can follow us and join the group and subscribe. Remember this, everything we do, we have an opportunity to make choices. I would say choose kindness, be compassionate, love over hate, create world relationships that connect other people to other pleasures, other experiences, and own your own story. My grandfather always said, when you get to a place where you can help someone else, it is your duty to do so. Reach one, teach one. And this is the end of our show, and we'll fade to black until next time. Thank you.